My wedding is in 2 weeks, but I'm cheating on him. When people say the moment he proposed, they always describe some cinematic thing. Fireworks, violins, a sunset doing unpaid labor to make everything feel magical. My moment. Picture this: a crowded Italian restaurant, one flickering candle, and a waiter who kept calling my boyfriend Sir Thomas, like he was a medieval knight. Tom pushed the ring box across the table, like he was sliding over a parking ticket. His hands were shaking. Mine were too, but for entirely different reasons. Because while Tom was staring at me with those earnest Labrador eyes, the only face I could see was Liam's. Liam with his crooked smile and I don't do relationships energy. Liam, whose shirt I had worn home that morning because I'd slept at his place instead of my own bed. Liam, who texted me, I'm counting the minutes, literally 2 minutes before Tom asked me to marry him. I should have said no. I should have said, Tom, listen, I'm sleeping with someone who has a motorcycle and intimacy issues. I should have done anything except what I actually did. I said yes. Out loud. In public. With the waiter clapping like he was trying to earn a bigger tip. Tom cried. The whole restaurant cheered. A stranger hugged me hard enough to pop my shoulder, and someone bought us champagne. I smiled and kissed Tom, because that's what you do when you've just detonated your entire life and need everyone to believe it's confetti instead of fallout. In the Uber home, Tom held my hand like it was sacred. I held my phone like it was radioactive. Liam. So? Liam. Are we still meeting Friday? Liam. Or did he do it? I didn't answer. I couldn't. I was too busy staring at the literal symbol of my moral collapse. The ring sparkled like it was mocking me. At home, Tom put on soft music and poured wine. He kept whispering, I can't believe you're mine! And every time he said it, my stomach twisted tighter. Because I wasn't his. Not fully. Not cleanly. Not honestly. I excused myself to the bathroom, locked the door, sat on the edge of the tub, and stared at my reflection. I'm getting married in 2 weeks, I whispered to myself. I waited for the happy tears. They didn't come. Instead, I got a cold, sinking realization that sat in my chest like a brick dropped down a well. I'm getting married in 2 weeks, and I am in total, catastrophic shit. I should have ghosted Liam after the proposal, blocked him, pretended he was a bad dream brought on by too much cheap red wine and low self-esteem. But instead, on Friday evening, 4 days after saying yes to a man who actually loves me, I was standing outside Liam's apartment like a woman begging the universe to punish her. He opened the door, shirtless, because of course he did. Liam has this talent for being just the right amount of inappropriate at the worst possible moments. So, he said, leaning against the frame with that lazy grin, you didn't answer my texts. I got engaged, I said flatly. He didn't blink, didn't gasp, didn't even pretend to be surprised. Yeah, I figured, he said. You still coming in? And that is when I should have left. Instead, I stepped inside like an idiot, like I didn't have a 2.2-carat diamond burning a hole in my pocket. I didn't wear it around Liam. I couldn't. He'd make a comment, and it would crush me in ways I didn't want to examine. His place smelled like pine soap, cologne, and a hint of gasoline from the motorcycle parts on his living room floor. The place always looks like a sexy apocalypse. He closed the door behind me. Let me guess, he said. You said yes because he asked. Because I love him, I snapped, instantly hating how defensive I sounded. Liam laughed, quiet but sharp. You don't cheat on someone you love. My chest tightened. It's not that simple. Sure it is, he said. If he was really the guy, you wouldn't be here. I hated him for being right. I hated myself more. He stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear. Tell me you don't want this, he murmured. I should have said it, even if it was a lie. Instead, I kissed him, and in the middle of it, his hands on my waist, my heart doing that humiliating stutter-step thing it does, a sickening thought hit me. This isn't passion. This is self-sabotage dressed up like lust. After, when we were lying tangled in sheets that weren't clean enough for the level of emotional destruction taking place on them, he said, "You're not going to marry him." I stared at the ceiling like it held the answer. "I am," I whispered. He turned toward me, disappointment and disbelief mixing into something sharp. "You're going to choose the boring guy," he said. "Even though you want me." I sat up, suddenly nauseous. "Wanting you is the problem. Loving him is the tragedy." He didn't respond. Liam never fights for things. He just watches them sink. I got dressed in silence, heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. When I reached the door, he said, "This ends messy." I didn't look back. It already did. Walking home, the air felt too cold for my thin cardigan and too honest for the person I was being. Every step made the ring in my pocket feel heavier. I should break off the engagement, or break things off with Liam, or break myself in half and let the two versions of me go their separate ways. But I just walked faster, like outrunning my problems would magically turn me into someone worth marrying. 2 weeks until the wedding. And every bad decision I've made is lining up behind me like bridesmaids, and I'm still in total shit. By the time the next morning rolled around, my guilt had shape-shifted from vague stomachache to full-bodied spiritual illness. I woke up nauseous, sweaty, and convinced that God himself was sitting at the edge of my bed, shaking his head like, "Girl? Really?" Tom was already up making pancakes, because of course he was. Because the universe loves irony, honey, he said, flipping a chocolate chip pancake shaped like a heart. I was thinking, what if we write our own vows? I choked on my coffee so violently he thought I was dying. Write vows? As in, put into words how much I love him? As in, stand in front of 85 people and boldly disrespect the institution of marriage? Sure, I croaked. Yeah, that sounds great. Internally, my brain was screaming, "You are a fraud, and everyone will find out in HD." I spent the rest of the morning spiraling in our bedroom pretending to work on vows. What was I supposed to say? I promise to be faithful. LOL. I promise to be honest. Double LOL. I promise to cherish you and only you. Girl, be serious. While I was staring at the blank page like it personally offended me, my phone buzzed. Liam. You alive, or did guilt finally kill you? I threw the phone across the bed like it was cursed, which, frankly, it was. 5 minutes later, my maid of honor, Claire, barged into the house without knocking. Standard behavior for her. She found me horizontal on the carpet like a fainting Victorian widow. You look unwell, she said. Define unwell, I muttered. You look like someone whispered tax audit into your soul. I sat up. My brain said, don't tell her. My mouth said, Claire, I made a mistake. She immediately sat next to me, grabbing both my hands like I had just revealed a terminal diagnosis. What kind of mistake? She asked, eyes huge. Wedding mistake? Relationship mistake? Botox mistake? It's about the wedding. She inhaled sharply. Oh my God, you don't want to marry him. No, I do, I lied reflexively. I don't know. I've been overwhelmed. She narrowed her eyes. Claire has this talent for staring directly into your moral rot. What aren't you telling me? She asked softly, and in that moment, sweaty palms, racing heart, brain doing parkour, I actually considered confessing. Everything. Liam, the affair, the engagement, the self-destruction. All of it. I opened my mouth, and before I could utter a single morally catastrophic syllable, Tom walked in, pancakes on a plate, wearing an apron that said, "Kiss the cook," smiling like a man who deserved so much better than the chaos tornado sitting on the floor before him. "Ladies," he said cheerfully, "brunch is ready." "I hate everything," I whispered into my lap. Claire squeezed my knee and stood up. "We'll talk later," she said pointedly. We did not talk later. We did, however, all sit at the table together and eat pancakes like a happy little sitcom family, while I slowly dissolved internally like an Alka-Seltzer tablet. After brunch, Claire left. Tom kissed my forehead, and I went back to the bedroom to hyperventilate in peace. My phone buzzed again. Liam. "You coming over tonight?" Me. "No." Liam. "Liar. And the worst part, he was right. 2 weeks until the wedding, and I was juggling lies like they were wedding favors. I wasn't in total shit anymore. I was buried in it. I lasted 4 whole days without seeing Liam, which honestly should qualify me for some kind of emotional sobriety chip. But then, Thursday night rolled around, 9 days before the wedding, and Tom said the 6 most destabilizing words in the English language. "Babe, I have to work late." Work late, meaning the house would be empty. Meaning my brain decided to open an old bottle labeled self-destruction, age 29 years. I tried to distract myself. Wedding spreadsheets, vow drafts, yoga lasted 30 seconds, reality TV, but my entire body was buzzing with that awful chemical mix of craven and dread. At 8:12 p.m., my phone lit up. Liam. "Want me to come over?" I stared at the message like it was a detonator. Me. No. "Liam, I'm already outside. I swear the universe whispered, 'Girl, just lie down and accept the consequences.'" I opened the blinds. There he was, leaning on his motorcycle like an unpaid Calvin Klein model with boundary issues. I should have closed the blinds. I should have gone to bed. Instead, I opened the door. He walked in without waiting to be invited. Liam never waits, and immediately took in the wedding binder, the vow drafts, the bouquet samples spread across the table. He smirked. "Wow, you're really committed to the bit." "It's not a bit," I said weakly. "You keep saying that." Silence stretched between us, that thick, electric silence that feels like a dare. Then he stepped closer. "I missed you." My pulse betrayed me. "I can't do this," I whispered. "You already are." He kissed me. I let him. And there, against the kitchen counter where Tom and I meal prep on Sundays like a stable couple, I made the worst decision so far in my young and rapidly deteriorating life. After, I sat on the floor with my back against the cabinets, knees pulled to my chest, staring at the engagement ring on my finger. It had a tiny scratch on it, the kind you wouldn't notice unless you were looking too closely. Liam noticed. He crouched down beside me. "That's new." "It must have happened at work." I lied. "No," he said quietly. "It happened to you." I looked at him, baffled. "It's a metaphor," he clarified with a sigh. "Jesus, don't make me explain it." Before I could respond, headlights lit up the window. Tom, he was home early, Panic punched me in the throat. "Closet!" I hissed at Liam. Liam blinked. "You're kidding!" "Do I look like I'm kidding?" He darted down the hallway. I threw myself onto the couch, pretending to be casually scrolling TikTok while actively experiencing cardiac arrest. The front door opened. Tom walked in, exhausted but smiling. "You're up. I thought you'd be in bed." "Ha ha! No! Me? Sleep? Never! Ha ha! How was work?" I sounded like a malfunctioning toaster. He kissed my forehead. "Long day. I just need a shower." My soul left my body. The bathroom. The bathroom is across the hall from the closet where I had just stashed a grown man like he was seasonal decor. "No!" I blurted, way too loud. "I mean, let me go first. I spilled something on myself earlier." Tom blinked. "Okay." I sprinted down the hallway, practically body-checking him out of the way, and whispered through the closet door. "Stay. Quiet." He whispered back. "This is insane." Tom called from the living room. "Everything okay?" "Yep," I said, voice cracking like a cheap plate. "Just tidying. Life. Stuff." I turned on the shower and stood there fully clothed, sweating, panicked, praying Tom wouldn't notice I wasn't actually in the water. He didn't. He just waited on the couch until I came out 20 minutes later, smelling like steam and despair. The second he went into the bathroom, I grabbed Liam from the closet and shoved him toward the back door. "This is over," I hissed. "You said that last time," he whispered, leaning in. "Go." He did. And just like that, I was alone again. Except I wasn't. I had a wedding in 9 days. I had a fiancé who loved me, and I had a secret that was growing sharp edges. When Tom came out of the bathroom in his towel, the scratch on my engagement ring caught the bathroom light. "You should get that polished before the wedding," he said. "It's still beautiful, though." I swallowed hard. So was a grenade, if you didn't pull the pin. And mine was getting closer to exploding. 8 days before the wedding, the universe decided to stop being subtle. It happened on a Sunday morning, the kind Tom calls our cozy time, which meant coffee, blankets, and pretending we're one of those stable couples on Instagram who say things like, "Sundays are for snuggling." I was in my "I'm a good person, I swear" mode, making us fancy lattes with the machine Tom bought because he thinks I deserve every little indulgence. Cute, sweet, punishing. Tom was on the couch, scrolling through family group chats about travel logistics and menu preferences that I didn't have the heart to care about. I was trying to act normal as a woman with a lover-shaped ghost hovering behind her can be. Then my phone buzzed on the counter. Once, twice, 3 times. I froze. Tom looked up. "Your phone's blowing up." I didn't move, didn't breathe, didn't blink, because I knew who it was. "Want me to bring it to you?" he asked, already standing. "No!" I practically screamed. "No, it's fine. Work stuff. Boring." He frowned, but shrugged and sat back down. I grabbed my phone like it was a live grenade. 3 messages, all from Liam. "Liam, you were thinking about me last night." "Liam, don't pretend you weren't." "Liam, when are you going to stop lying to him and to yourself? My entire bloodstream turned to ice water. Then," Tom stood up again. "Actually, babe," he said, "didn't your sister text me earlier? I wanted to show you something." He reached for my phone, and I swear my soul attempted to evacuate my body through my spine. I jerked the phone out of reach like a feral raccoon guarding a trash can. "Mine!" I squeaked. "Okay," he said, eyebrows knitting. Are you all right? I forced a laugh that sounded exactly like someone trying not to vomit. Of course. Totally. Normal. Haha, I'm gonna shower. It was 9 a.m. People don't shower at 9 a.m. to escape the consequences of their double life. Except me. I locked the bathroom door, slid down the wall onto the tile, and opened the messages. My hands were shaking. Me. Stop. Me. Do not text me. Me. I told you this is done. Liam. No, you didn't. Liam. You told me you can't stop. Liam. I know the difference. I typed. I'm getting married. Liam replied instantly. Then stop calling me at midnight. I almost threw the phone across the room. Because yes, I had. Twice. Once I hung up the moment he answered. The second time I didn't. I couldn't even tell if I wanted comfort or punishment. Maybe both. I showered until the water went cold, like maybe scolding myself would reset my brain. When I came out, Tom was sitting on the edge of the bed, elbows on knees, expression concerned. Are you sure everything's okay? He asked gently. I opened my mouth. Yes, no. Maybe. I don't know. Help me. Save yourself. I'm a disaster. What came out instead was, I'm just stressed. He stood up, wrapped his arms around me, kissed the top of my head. I've got you, he said softly. Whatever it is, we're a team. And maybe that's what broke me, because I felt myself lean into him, really lean, and the guilt burrowed so deep it hit bone. And then the worst possible thing happened. He pulled back, smiled, and said, Oh, by the way, my mom wants to see your phone later. She needs to confirm some delivery times with the florist. The phone. The one full of messages from the man whose sweat was still probably in my sheets somewhere. I smiled so tightly, my face hurt. Of course, I said, because what else was I going to say? Let me delete my affair first. As Tom walked away, humming. I stared at my phone like it was a bomb with a ticking timer. 8 days until the wedding, and the explosion was coming. I could feel it. The night before the wedding is supposed to feel magical. Mine felt like a migraine wearing heels. Everyone was in town. Families, bridesmaids, Tom's friends who fist-bumped at inappropriate volumes. Rehearsal dinner was done. The venue was decorated. People had travelled, bought outfits, booked hotels. I could practically feel the weight of everyone's expectations pressing down on me like a weighted blanket made of debt and poor life choices. I was in the bridal suite alone, staring at my dress hanging there like a white flag of surrender, when my phone buzzed. Liam. Of course it was Liam. Liam. You're really going through with it? Me. Yes. Liam. Then I'm ending this. I exhaled for the first time in days. Finally. Finally he understood. Finally he was letting me go. Liam. And I'm telling him. The world cracked open. Me. No. Me. Please don't do this. Liam. If you want him so badly, then he deserves to know who he's marrying. I felt the floor tilt. I called him. Immediately. He didn't pick up. I called again. Voicemail. My chest was tightening, my breath hitching, my pulse pounding in my ears like a warning siren. And then, a knock on the door. I froze. I knew that knock. Soft, polite. Tom. Can I come in? He asked. Yeah, I said, trying to swallow the panic. He opened the door slowly, holding his phone. I saw it in his face before a single word came out. The devastation, the disbelief, the understanding. I got a message, Tom said quietly, from a number I didn't know. My mouth went dry. He held up his screen. Liam had sent him screenshots. Every message, every timestamp, every lie. I thought it was spam, Tom said, voice breaking. Until I saw your name. He wasn't angry. Anger would have been easier. He was hurt. broken in this quiet, hollow way that made my knees give out. "Tom, please." "How long?" he whispered. I opened my mouth, closed it, opened it again. "I don't know," I whispered, which was somehow worse than a number. He laughed once, pained, sharp, not really a laugh at all. "You don't know? That's your answer?" He walked across the room and put the ring, the one I had been too ashamed to wear, on the table. "I thought you loved me," he said. "I do," I cried. "No," he said gently. "You love the idea of being saved. You love knowing someone will catch you when you fall, but you never stopped falling." My throat constricted. "I'm so sorry," he nodded. "I know. But sorry doesn't undo anything." I tried to step closer. He stepped back. "I can't marry you," he said. "Not when I'll always wonder who you're thinking about when you look at me." Silence crushed the room. Then he said the thing that broke me open completely. "I hope you find what you're looking for, even if it's not me." He walked out, just like that. He didn't slam the door. He didn't scream. He didn't call mean names. He just left. And that kind of quiet ending hurts more than any dramatic blowout ever could. The next morning, there was no wedding. My mom cried. My sister tried to blame the venue. Tom's family politely pretended they understood. And me? I sat on the edge of the hotel bed, in the dress I would never wear, staring at the empty space where my life was supposed to go next. Around noon, my phone buzzed. Liam. Did he call it off? Me. Yes. Liam. "So, do you want to come over?" I stared at that message for a long time. Then I blocked his number. Because the only thing worse than losing someone who loved you is running back to the person who helped you ruin it. A week later, I moved out of the apartment Tom and I shared. I found a cheap studio with creaky floors and a view of the dumpster out back. Fitting. Honestly. I didn't become some enlightened version of myself. I didn't blossom into a new woman overnight. I didn't swear off men or take a healing trip to the mountains. I just started over. Slowly. Clumsily. Painfully. Life didn't implode. It just rearranged itself in a way I didn't choose. And here's the truth. Everyone warned me I was in total shit. They were right. But I'm still here. And maybe that's enough. For now.